Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how we can build a solar panel quote generator on n8n that completely replaces the manual site survey. So here's the reality for your potential clients. Right now, solar companies have to put a guy in a truck, drive 30 minutes, spend 30 minutes looking at a roof, and then drive 30 minutes back. Now, this is about an hour and a half of billable time and gas just to get one quote. We're going to replace that entire process with one automation. We're building a workflow that grabs the lead's address, pulls satellite and street view data, uses AI to generate realistic mock-ups of the panels on their actual roof, and then it runs the numbers and emails them a full savings report instantly. For the solar panel company, you're saving them hundreds of man hours and removing the bottleneck of scale. And for the customer, they get an instant price instead of waiting for an appointment. So without further ado, let's get straight into this build. Over here on n8n, this is the full workflow. Now, it may look a little bit overwhelming or complex, but it's very, very simple. It starts over here with a form in which a lead comes in. Any solar panel company will have a form like this. Maybe they're running Facebook ads or whatever they're doing to get leads, where the lead will fill out their name, email, phone number, their current electricity bill, and then their address. Now, what they would usually do is, assign this to somebody on their team and go through that full process that we talked about that takes hours. Now for us, it's going to trigger this n8n workflow over here, in which it's going to go through, get the person's address in a geocode way. It's just a way for computers to speak in a more accurate way. Then we're going to get every single solar detail about this house, how big the roof is, so we can see how many panels can fit on the house and so on. We're going to have AI determine, based on how much they currently spend on their solar bill, how many panels they will need for the roof. And then we are going to get an aerial view of the property. So if I jump in here, you can see when we click in here, it's going to get a full view of their property, a full overhead view. So we can have AI generate what the solar panels will look like on their house. Down here, we're going to give it to AI to generate an image of this property with the amount of solar panels on top of their roof, so they can see exactly what it may look like if they go with the solar panel option. And if we click in here, we can view the image that the AI generates. It outputs a more high detailed image with the solar panels over here. The next thing we do is we upload this so we can include it in the email to send over to them. This is going to give us a public link that we can send to them. Then we're going to take the image that they've uploaded on the form. As you can see over here, they have to upload an image of the front of their property. Then we're going to take it over here and we're going to turn it into a binary file where we can still view the property. Then we're going to give it to AI and tell the AI to generate the solar panels from the front view so the client can see what it looks like when they're actually walking into their property. And the AI is going to output something like this with the solar panels on top of their property. Next thing we're going to do over here is again store the image, and then over here we're going to have Gemini over here use everything that we've just done. So all of the solar details from up here, we're going to use all of the images that we've just generated, and we're going to have it output a HTML report that we can send over via email. So when this runs over here like this, it's then going to send an email over to the user. Over here is the email that the user will receive within a couple of minutes of filling out that form. You can see it says your solar proposal. Great news, based on Google's satellite analysis, your home is excellent candidate for solar. Here's your personalized proposal. Your estimated 20-year savings is about 7K. Your home with solar panels, so we have an aerial view which the AI generated. We have the street view again which the AI generated. The system overview is you're going to need about 4 panels. The system size, how much it's going to produce, and the energy you're covered with. We have the investment breakdown, so the system cost, the federal tax credit that you can apply for, so you can get some cost cut off, and then your net cost over here. Payback period, all of the details that a solar company would include, and it would take them hours to generate. We have every information down here, and then a start here in which they can book in to actually get this done. So let's get into how we actually build this. So you can see over here on n8n, the first thing we need to do is build the actual form that the user can fill out. Now most companies will already have this, but as you're testing it, you can build one out over here on fillout.com. So if we exit out of this, you can see we're on fillout over here. So come over here to fillout.com and you can come over here and press create new. In here, when you press create new, it's going to bring you to a blank template in which you can just bring stuff over from over here. So for the name, just bring over a short answer, put it in here, and then type in name in which the user can fill out. Then do the same. And then for email, type in here, email, bring it over, drop it in. For phone number, same thing, bring it over, drop it in. Your current electricity bill, look up a number. You want them to put in a number, bring that over, drop it in, and then for address, type in address, and bring that over and drop it in here. Now we have that full form done. We can publish this form, and now users can start using it. So if you go to the actual URL, this is what users will see when they do this. Now, over here on n8n, we need to connect it, so whenever somebody fills out that form, it's going to trigger this workflow. So what we're going to do is come over here and we're going to look up fill out, and we're going to select this one right here, the fill out trigger. Firstly, you're going to have to install it, so press the install button right here, and then press add to workflow. It's going to add a fill out trigger to this workflow. You might have to connect, so you'll click in here, press create new credential, in which it's going to ask you for an API key. To get that API key, come back over here to fill out, back to your home page, and come up here to your name, settings, come down here to where it says developer, and you have your API key right here, in which you can copy, bring over to n8n, drop it in here, and then you're fully connected, and you can choose the form that you want this to trigger from. So we're going to select the solar panel quote express, and now this is going to trigger as soon as anybody fills out that solar panel form. That's all we need for this step. Next thing we need to do is we need to get a geocode address. Now for the next minute or about a minute and a half, I'm going to go through a Google Cloud process in which we're going to get the API key for all of these nodes right here. So bear with me as we get that done. Come over here and look up Google Cloud. Over here in Google Cloud, you're going to have to log in. You're going to have to create an account. As you can see, I already have an account. If you have a Google account, just create an account and come over here to where it says console. Now over here in console, we have to enable a couple of APIs. So we need to come up here and we need to enable the solar panel API. So come up here, look up solar panel, click in here and select solar API, and then because I already have it enabled, I can press manage. But if you don't have it enabled, which I assume you don't, just click in here, press enable, and that's all you have to do. The next one we have to do, we need to do that 2 more times. So we need to do that for the solar to get the solar address. We need to do that to get the geocode address. So let's come back over here and look up, let's go back out of this and look up geo, and we are looking for the geocoding API. And again, I'm already enabled, but you can just press enable and it's going to be completely fine. The last one we need to do is the one to get the actual roof view of this property. So we're going to come back over here. So we're going to come up here and we're going to look up static map, and we are going to get this maps static API. Click it here and press enable again, and that's all you have to do just to enable all of the APIs. Now to connect to all of these, we need to come over here to this bar over here, come down here to where it says API services, and come down here to where it says credentials. Click in here. Up here, you're going to need to press create new credential, and we're going to create a new API key. So I'm going to click in here, press create new API key, and you can see it gives me a full API key in which I can use. I'm going to copy this and we're going to store this for later because we're going to use this multiple times. Now that we have the API key, we need to come over here and we need to use the geocode address. So we're going to come up here and press HTTP. We're going to select HTTP request, and in here we're going to use this URL right here. Now don't worry if you don't know or you don't want to remember what these URLs are. In the second link below, I'm going to leave my full free community where you can download this full template, so you don't have to build anything. It's going to be fully built for you. All you have to do is that Google part over there, and this will be fully built for you. Now over here, you need to put in this URL, which is for the geocode, and this is going to get the geocode of the person's address. So we're going to put in this URL right here, and it's going to be a get request. Now down here, we're going to press send query parameters. We're going to use fields below, and we're going to put in the address equals, and we're going to put in the person's address from the form that they just filled out. So when they fill out a form like they did over here, it's going to trigger this and send over all of the information from the form. So we have their name, email, phone number, your current address, your current electricity bill, and then your address, in which it gives us in all of these values right here, and then the uploaded image of the front of your property. Now over here, we're going to need to use that address so we can get a geocode location. So I'm going to come down here, find where the address is, and I'm going to put them in one by one. So you can see here, we have address, bring that over, drop that in, and then do that for the rest of this. Again, drop that in, comma, space, drop that in, comma, space, and then the zip code, and that's all we need. Now, like I mentioned before, we're going to use the API key multiple times. So this is the API key from Google, in which you're just going to type in key and then put that API key in right here. That's the first part done. It's going to output over here the full address, details about the address. What we're interested in from this is the longitude and the latitude coordinates. So we have the longitude here, we have the latitude, and this is exactly what we're looking for. So the location, latitude, longitude, this is what we're going to use because this is the rooftop location. So now if we come over here, we can get the solar details from the solar API that we've just enabled. So come over here, press get solar details. It's going to be another HTTP request. It's going to be get request this time, and this is the URL that we're going to use. It's going to be solar.googleapis.com, and we're going to get the building insights for that property. Authentication, we can press none. We're going to send query parameters. This time we're going to select location.latitude. We're going to come over here and find the latitude location. So if we come down here, we can find the latitude location right here. So from the rooftop, we bring over latitude and drop it in here. And then we're going to use location.longitude and bring over the longitude location, drop it in here. And then we're going to type in required quality. It's going to be high. And then the key is going to be the same API key that we just copied. So we're going to use that the full way throughout this build. So again, drop your API key in here. So right now we've gotten the information from the form. We get the geolocation. We pass it over to the solar details. Solar details is going to output everything about this property in terms of solar. So you can see in here, we get the longitude, latitude, the postal code. We get the solar potential. So how many solar panels can fit on this property, the maximum amount of panels that can fit on it. We have all of the details about what the roof is like. Now, you don't need to understand what any of this means. We're just going to pass it to AI and let AI do its work. But just know that this gives us off hundreds of pieces of information about this property so we can get the most accurate information for this company. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give it basically all of that solar information and say how many solar panels do we need to put on this property, because we don't need to put the max amount of solar panels on a property if the user only uses maybe $20 worth of electricity every month. So this is going to determine how many solar panels we need. So you can see in here, we use a Gemini message a model. To get that, come over here, look up Gemini, Google Gemini, message a model, and in here you're going to give it a prompt. So you can see here we select text. We're using Gemini 3 Flash, and we say to it, calculate how many panels this home would need, calculate how many panels this home would need, and output just a number. That's it, only a number and absolutely nothing else. And we say here's the solar details, in which we give it all of the solar details from over here. So we type this in json.stringify, and we put in this get solar details, and this is going to output all of the solar details as you can see on this side. And then we say here is the users, I'll type this in property, users current monthly bill, and then we go back to the form over here in which we can get the user's current monthly bill. Again, if you don't want to build this and type everything out yourself, download it for free below. Next node we are going to use is the get aerial view. So this is the node that's going to output an image of the aerial view. If we jump in here, you can see we have the aerial view of the property. Now to do that, we're going to use again a HTTP request, and this time it's going to be a get request. It's going to be this URL right. It's going to be this URL right here. This is the static map API that we enabled over on Google. So we put this URL in, authentication no, again send query parameters, and this time we're going to send center as the name. We're going to get the longitude and latitude details from the solar node. So here we have latitude, so I can get rid of this and show you how it's done. Bring over latitude, drop it in here. Then we're just going to type a comma and then bring over the longitude details, drop it in here. We're going to add another one, call it name zoom, and make that 21 so it zooms in on the actual property house. We're going to add another one, which is size 800 by 800, and then map type satellite, and then we put in the key, which is your API key once again. Now this time we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to add an option in which it's going to be the response type. In here we're going to deselect all of these, and the response type is going to be a file because it's giving us an image. And then we're going to tell it to output that file as the name satellite.png, and you can see it outputs it as satellite.png over here and gives us that file, which is the image. Now what we're going to do with that image is give it over here to Nano Banana Pro. So we're going to come over here, look up Gemini again, Google Gemini, and press generate an image. When we press generate an image, we're going to come over here and we're going to select the operation as edit an image because we already have the satellite image. We just wanted to add the solar panels on top. So we're going to select edit an image. We're going to use Gemini 3 Pro, and we've given it this prompt right here, which is add solar panels to this house roof for a solar proposal. The solar analysis indicates this roof will need this amount of panels, and you can see over here it says 4 panels. And remember, we get that information from this node over here, which is, let's give this a name, panel. Let's give this the name panel amount, so we remember. So this node is going to give us, it's going to output the amount of panels this house needs. So you can see it outputs just the number 4. And we can use that over here in this prompt right here, where we say the solar analysis indicates the roof will need this amount of panels that the AI outputs. We say place dark blue panels on the main roof sections. I need you to make the aerial image better, like taking a high quality camera picture rather than satellite image, because you can see here in the satellite image it outputs something that's really like grainy and not professional, and over here the AI will output a more high quality image with the solar panels on the property. Now over here we need to select the images as, so this is what image we're going to give it. So we're going to say binary field name is satellite.png, and we'll get that from the previous node, which we'll get that from the previous node right here, and just drop that into here, satellite.png, and then we're going to tell it to output this in the field AI roof image. You can really give it any name. These are just the names I give it so we can keep it organized, and you can see over here it outputs it as the name AI roof image. The next thing we need to do is we need to add this to a URL so we can use it in the email later. So in here I have this API, which is image.bb. So we're going to come over here, we're going to look at image.imagebb. We're going to come in here, it's completely free. We're going to come in here, quickly sign up, just put in your details. After you sign up then and you have an account, come down here to the home page and press API, and then it's going to give you this API key right here, in which we're going to copy. We're going to bring over to this. We're going to make this a HTTP post request, put in this URL right here. Then we're going to send over query parameters, put it in as key, and then put that API key right in here. And then we're going to come down here, press send body. The body content is going to be form data. We're going to select the parameter type as an n8n binary file. And this basically just means we're going to send you over an n8n file, which you can see we have right here from the previous node. The image name, now the name is important that we select it as image, because that's what ImageBB expects. And then we are going to put in the input data field name, in which you can copy and paste from here and drop it in right there. Now what's going to happen there is we are going to turn this binary file, which can't really do anything with other than download onto your computer. We're going to turn that into a URL like this one right here. And when we go to this URL, if I quickly go to this URL, you can see it's the image of the property. Now we need to do that because if we are including this in an email, we want to be able to just include it in the email where they can view it right away, rather than sending them over a file in which they have to download to view. So when we put it on the URL, they can just view it directly straight away in the email. So that's why we do this. Now the next node is we need to basically do the opposite of that. So this one we converted a binary file into a URL. This one we are turning the URL that Fillout sends us over here. So this is the question where we ask the user to upload an image of the front of their property. We're going to grab that URL and we're going to turn it into a binary file. So basically the opposite of what we've just done. And we need to do that because Gemini only accepts binary files. It won't accept the URL. So what we do here is, again, we add another HTTP request. This time it's going to be a GET request. And we're just simply going to put in as the URL, we're going to put in what Fillout sends us over here. So this URL that it sends us over for the image, we're going to drop that in here, and that's all we have to do. When we drop that in here, and when we execute this step, it's going to output this binary file right here. If we view this, it's the image that the user sent in the form. And now we can use this over here in the next AI or the Gemini edit image node. And this time we are going to ask it to use this binary file, output the front part of the house and what the panels will look like on that front part. So we say again, add solar panels to the front of this house, and then we say I'm providing an image which is the front view of the house to edit, and then we say match the solar panel style and placement from the aerial view. The system has this amount of panels, which we get from the AI that we previously done, but only show panels visible from the front angle. Keep panels dark blue, aligned in neat rows, realistically placed and proper perspective from a ground level view. This is for a client proposal. This is make it look professional, realistic, and not pasted on. So this is going to take in this image right here and turn it into this image right here, which is going to give us the solar panel view of the house, just so the client has a better idea of what these solar panels are going to look like. After we have that image, then we are going to do the exact same thing that we've just done over here. So we've turned this image into a URL. This time we're going to do the exact same thing. So you can just right click this, press duplicate, and put it over here. Except this time the only thing we're going to change is we're going to come down here, and it's not going to be the aerial view, it's going to be the street view. So one thing I forgot to mention about this node right here is we're going to click in here, we're going to come down here, and we're going to add the options, and we're going to make this put output in field AI street view. So this is just telling it, give it this name right here, and you can see it gives it this name as an output right up here. So we can use that over here, right? We can use that over here in this node, in which we change it from the aerial view to AI street view. When we have that and output it as a URL, now all we need to do is make this prompt, and we're basically done. We're going to use a Gemini node right here, and we are going to use messaging model node. We're going to use Gemini 3 Pro preview, and we're going to give it this prompt right here, in which we say you are creating a professional sonar proposal. Here's the customer's info, in which we give it the customer's address, their monthly bill, and their email, which we will get all from the form that they filled out. So the form trigger over here, we say here's the solar analysis, in which we give it the solar analysis or the solar details over here. So we give it to it in this format right here specifically, which is json.stringify get solar details. Just like this, copy this, either download the template or just type it out like this, and you can see it gives it all of the solar details. Then we say here's the images, in which we give it the images from the nodes where we got them as URLs. So where we turn them into URLs, we give it them images. So you can see up here we say get public street view image. So I come down here and I'm going to copy this URL and get the street view, drop that in there as a street view. And then the next node, the next URL we need is the aerial view. So we come back a little bit to where we say get URL roof image, and we can bring that URL over and drop it in here. So now it has both of the URLs it can use in the email. And then we say the task is to find a financial scenario matching their monthly bill, their current monthly bill, which we get from the form. Extract all relevant numbers, research the local incentives for their state, and then fill in this HTML template below, in which we just give it this HTML template, which is basically just neat code formatting for email. So you can see over here in the email that we were just looking at, in order to get it to look like this, we need to tell the AI to send it over as neat HTML format so it can look like this. If we just send it over as text, then it's just going to look like a normal email as text. So we tell it to send it over in this HTML, and then we just give it a format to follow so all of the reports are consistent. Here's the full HTML template in which we've given it. Lastly, down here we say output only the final HTML with placeholders replaced, no explanation needed. The next node after that to finish us off is just a simple send a message node. So if we click in here, it says send a message on email. First, you connect up your account, obviously, so you're able to send messages. The operation is send. We're going to send it to the person from the form. So we'll come down here, grab their email and drop it in here. Subject, your solar estimate, and then we are going to make sure the email type is HTML. Come up here, grab the output from Gemini and drop it over here and drop it right into there. And then it's going to send us an email. So when a user comes over here and fills out this form, in a couple of minutes, maybe less than 2 minutes, they're going to receive this form right here, which is the full quote done for them. So that's going to be it for this video. If you want to start or scale your own AI automation agency like me, I've scaled mine to over 100k per month over the past 2 years, then click the first link below in which I'll work with you one-on-one to get you to that point. If you want to download the template and join my free community, click the second link below in which you can do that. That's going to be it for this video. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you want to see next.